Hello everyone. Hi, I'm CA Manan Naran. On behalf of the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of the ICAI, I welcome all the participants in today's webcast, with the title of the webcast being Data Crunching Secrets with DAX in Power BI. I welcome today's expert here, our panelist, CA Vikal Jain.
Thank you, Manan.
Now, to introduce Vikal Jain ji, CA Vikal Jain ji is a distinguished CA and a dynamic professional known for his expertise in data automation, financial analytics, and emerging technologies such as these. As a proprietor of Vikal Jain and Associates and a consultant with the 16th Finance Commission of India, he brings a wealth of experience in research and data management, which are really emerging fields. He's a leader in the field of automation and has conducted over 100 Excel sessions across more than 8 countries and delivered 40 plus impactful sessions on AI at various platforms, whether they be ICI study circles, AI hackathons, and government think tanks. His technical acumen has earned him appreciation from even the Deputy Governor of the RBI for his contributions to the NITI NCAER national dashboard. Beyond traditional finance, he's a digital educator and a social media influencer and has over 3.6 million followers on his Excel Tricks Facebook page and a strong presence on Instagram. He has created widely accessed tutorials on Power BI, Power Query, Office 365, and ChatGPT, which are essential for professionals in today's evolving environment. His training programs have empowered over 500 professionals globally through platforms such as GoToWebinar and Skype, and he regularly conducts such webinars to educate people. He's a certified CA. Vikal Jainji is also holds a certification in IFRS and has completed 11.1 of the AI certification by ICI. With this, sir, I hand the stage over to you to educate us more on Power BI and the use of DAX in Power BI. Thank you.
Thank you, Manan. Thank you, ICAI. Thank you, Sambit and thank you, Professional Engagement Committee, for giving me this kind of opportunity. I'm going to talk about Power BI. Now, this time we are going to talk about data expression language, which is DAX. And we will deal data expression language is technically sounds difficult, but if we are dealing with the data expression language in practical field, it is really a Excel file, nothing else. So let me just share you my screen. Then we are going to start with. So I have already explained in my previous of the webinars that Power BI is nothing, just a combination of three tools. So whenever we are dealing with the data part is having two things. First is transformation and second is visualization. See, whenever we have a data, let's say we have rows and columns. So making chart is not quite difficult whenever we are dealing with data. But whenever we are dealing with the transformation, so it is quite difficult to learn how to transform the data. In Power BI, we can transform the data using Power Query, Excel, or itself Power Pivot. So Power Pivot is a component of DAX, which we are going to deal with today. Now, in earlier of the session, we have dealt with the Power Query and the Excel part, but now we will in this tutorial, I'm going to tell you how transformation is going to happen with the DAX part, and it is as same as with your Excel file, just nothing else. Just a view would be different. Let's say if Excel has a green view, so that DAX view will have a yellow view. So the color is only different. The logic, concept, each and everything is same with the this Power Pivot or the DAX part. So let me just simply take you to the comparison of the Excel and Power BI. So whenever we are dealing with the Excel and Power BI, see, we can make the charts, we can make the dashboards in Excel also, and we can make the chart and we can make the dashboard in Power BI. Now, what is the difference between these two? Let's say if I have a big data, now I'm going to make the dashboard in Excel. So what is going to happen when I'm sharing with anyone? Let's say I'm sharing with Manan. So what is going to happen in that in that file? Is he need to open that file. If let's say if I'm sharing on the cloud on the Google Sheet, he would not able to see the axis or see the chart carefully in which manner I have recorded that. But in Power BI, what I need to do, I don't even need to share any data. I can simply share the link here. he or other partner can access the data directly from the link. And the beauty of this Power BI is in Power BI, we can handle more data size compared to Excel. So whenever, let's say, we have 1 lakh rows, we have 10 lakh rows in Excel. So Excel just got hanged and respond time in just increase. But whenever we are dealing with the Power BI, it can handle uh, tremendous data of your Excel sheet. So we are simply referring that Power BI because it is a fast model, and data size can be it can handle various kind of data set. Now let's the second beauty is it is a purely cloud based. uh, Excel we need to store on the system, but whenever we okay. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is whenever deal the second advantage is it is fully on the cloud base. When I have created one dashboard and I have shared on the cloud, now what is going to next time? Don't need to update my files. I can simply access the cloud or access the link. It will simply uh, enable my dashboard from over there. Even I can share that link with anyone. Now the third part is visualization. In Excel, we need to take the help of helper columns. We need to take working files. In visualization, we can simply take the advantage of Power Query and the DAX. So that we are going to learn today. And the fourth and the most important part is more security it has. So Excel does not have more security, but Power BI has more security because data is lying with me only. I am sharing the links only with anyone. So that is the main concern part in the more security part. So downloading Power BI is not such a difficult part. Even you can go to your Google and you can search for Power BI desktop 64-bit because every system is dealing with 64-bit now. So I am simply suggesting you to download Power BI 64-bit. So it will simply it will take you to this link and you can simply download from there. Even let's say if you are not dealing with the Google, so you can simply search on the window and App Store. So here you will see Microsoft App Store. From here, you can even search your Power BI. Let's say if your Power BI is not there, if you are going to search here, so it will simply take you to the Microsoft Store and you can download from there. So it will look like this, like this. So what you need to do is simply click on this install button and it will install in your system. So downloading is quite simple in Power BI. Now, this is the process understanding, which is very important whenever we are dealing with Power BI. 70% is the transformation, how to transform your draw data into a meaningful data. This is a 70% component. And whenever we are creating a charts or hyperlinks, it is only a 30%. So main focus is only on the transformation whenever we are dealing with the Power BI because we know how to create a chart. Let's say I have a data of x-axis and y-axis. I can create a line chart, but how to make the line chart? Let's say I have some transaction in my Excel file. Let's say there is an invoice date, there is a transaction amount, there is a region south, east, north, west. Now I want to create a year-wise data. How I can create that? So that is the main part. Create a line chart is not that difficult, but how to find out the years from that data, how to consolidate amount as per the year wise, how to use count if, sum if in the Power BI. This is the main part whenever we are dealing with the transformation. So now this is again process understanding part. So whenever we are loading up Power BI, so let me just load you the let load the Power BI over here. Power BI. So Power BI is here now. It is opening. So it takes some times because the software size is quite heavy. Once we have uploaded the file on the cloud, it will not take the time as much. Now I'm simply clicking on this blank report. Now this is the blank report. Here we can import the data from the Excel SQL server, or we can simply paste our blank table. And you will see here we have lots of option to import the data. Here you can see text CSV we can import. Even if you will see here we have lots of options. Even PDF we can load over here. here we have files, here we have database. So you can connect your SAP software with the help of IT, Oracle software with the help of IT. So you can connect any kind of software with the Power BI. And now what is the advantage of connecting this Power BI with your software? Let's say you are using SAP in your big firm. So what is going to happen? Let's say there is some master data and there is a transaction data. Let's say if I'm talking about sales register. So whenever I'm exporting my sales register from the SAP software, it may be possible that there's a GST number, but party name is not there. So how will I get the party name? I will simply get the party name from what? From the master. Means I will simply scroll down the GST number in the masters, or I will export the master file, and I will simply use VLOOKUP to find out the masters. Now, let's say if I'm going to find out, let's say 5 or 6 columns. So whenever we are exporting the sale register is quite heavy. So after exporting 5 6 column, Excel will start hanging. So that's how we are simply going to connect the SQL server or SAP with the Power BI directly. So we don't need to uh, we don't need to transform data in Excel file. So it will simply handle that kind of thing. And it will, once we are going to connect the data, and we can simply create a link, and it will simply fetch the data on the cloud. So that's how the dashboard it is going to make. So the first part is if, let's say if you are going to make a dashboard. So first part is again, let's say if I'm talking about SAP, so you can export the file into Excel file, but that will not a real time. Every time you need to export that file and upload in the Power BI. So that's how you can create a dashboard, but I will not suggest this kind of thing. So I will simply cross that thing. Now there are two more things to connect with the Power BI. So first is Power Query and second is DAX. Now let me just explain you. Here you will see, here we have report view. In this, whatever we are dealing with, it is a kind of report view. So every dashboard, every visualization is created over here. Now, whenever we are dealing with this table view, I generally call it as Excel view. So you will see we are going to cover this only in today webinar. So this is the table view. So here we can deal with all kind of Excel formulas and all kind of DAX expressions over here. Here we have relationship view, and here we have a DAX expression. We can use the Copilot over here. But for the Copilot, you need a paid license for this. And here we have TMDL view. You can, in simple form, you can understand this as a programming language. So these two I'm not going to cover, and here we're going to cover with the table view and how we are going to learn the table view directly from the Power BI. And the backend part is Power Query. So this is the front end part. Here we have, let's say, I'm going to import my first raw data over here. Let's say here you will see I have 3 raw data. Then I will tell you what is the front end, what is the back end of the Power BI. I'm just building the basics to start with the DAX. So here we have client data. Let me just open the file. So you will see here, let's say my client is this. You will see here I have 90 clients in my CA form, and you will see their industry is this. So this client is dealing with the real estate. This client is dealing with the finance. And here we have employee counts, and here we have annual turnover of my clients. So here is the master file, and let me just show you the transaction file also. So you will see I am for McDaniel, I have dealt with the GST filing. So I'm simply saying it is a consultancy service. So uh, my South division is dealing with that client. It is a SME, and I have worked here. We have billed hours, rate per hour, and invoice amount. Now this is GST rate and GST amount. In service, we have 18% GST, but for demonstrating, I am simply taking random GST rates. So here we have GST amount, and here we have invoice date, and here we have payment status. So some of the invoices are partially paid, and some of the invoices are still unpaid. So that's how I have created the transaction data. And you will see here I have 200 transaction in my list. So maybe there is a multiple transaction with that client. And the third data is risk matrix. So whenever I'm dealing with my client, I do the risk assessment of my client. So here is the McDaniel. So 3.4 out of 5 he is getting whenever I'm dealing with this assessment. And you will see here we have again 90 clients and 90 risk assessment score. Now you can also my think data like this. Let's say here we have sale register, and here we have master data, and so on. So basically, every file is not linked with a separate one. So I'm going to import all files in my Power BI. I'm going to connect each and every file. Then I'm going to explain how we can take the advantage of this DAX expression language. Now, let's close this and I'm going to import that thing into my Power BI. So I'm closing this. So here are the three files. Now let's import all the files in my Power BI. And you will see here we have get data. Just simply click on this get data, Excel workbook. So I'm going to import my first data, client data, open. And now this is the beauty of this Power BI. Let's say here I have first list and you will see it is showing me the preview. Now here we have two options, load and the transform data. So whenever we are dealing with this transform data, it will take you to the Power Query, which is a backend of your Power BI. And in today's scenario, Excel has Power Query, Power BI. Now let me show you my Excel file also. I'm taking a blank Excel file. So here my Excel file has opened. Now in the data part, you will see here we have get data and here we have launch Power Query editor. So this same thing is also available in this Power BI. Now let me just close this. So I have opened that Power Query editor in Excel to demonstrate you the same part is also available with your Excel file. So if I'm going to click on this transform data, so you will see here we have Power Query editor, and here we can transform our data into Power Query editor. Now, let's say if I'm transforming my data into Power Query or any other tool, or let's say DAX. So whether it is going to impact my data, no, not at all. So my raw file would always lie in my raw shape, but my transform data, my transform part is going to happen in this Power BI file only. So that is the beauty of this Power Query and this DAX. So what is the next time? Let's say in sales register you have 90 transaction, and after today, let's say tomorrow there would be 100 transactions. So what I need to do, I need to simply refresh this, and you will see here we have refresh preview. So it is going to automatically refresh your data from there. So that's how Power BI auto update the dashboard in the backend. So simply close and apply, and it is showing some problem over here. My Power BI got hanged over here. Now let me just close this and reopen this. So I have closed my Power BI. I'm going to reopen this. So my Power BI is again open. Again, I'm clicking on this blank report, and I'm clicking on this get data and Excel workbook. And here I have client data. Just open it. Now you can preview your data. Just clicking on this, you can see my data has been loaded. Just click on this transform data to open Power Query and close and apply. My data has some issue, I think. Now it is, you can see it is applying the changes. Now my data has been loaded and you can see my data is not saving here, and you can see the right pane in the data tab. I can see my data. Here I have the column names, annual turnover, client name, employee count, head office, and industry. And you will see here we have Excel view, and you will see my data is also saving over here in is as same as in the matrix form, which my Excel is showing. Now I can load all of the data over here. So here in the home tab, get data, Excel file. The second file I'm loading. So we can connect our multiple files directly with the software. Just now you can see here in this Excel file, I have two sheets. First is transaction data and second is a working file. If you want to load only the single sheet, you can simply click on this and just load this. See, now I'm not clicking on this transform part because it is going to take me to the Power Query. But this time I'm going to cover the DAX. So that's how I'm going to simply click on this load. I'm not clicking on the transform data. And you can see the second file is here, and you will see the first file. Here we have a client name, and you can see my data has been loaded. Now I'm going to load the third data, get data, Excel workbook, and the risk matrix open. Just load this. So this is the basic of this Power BI, how to load the data in Power BI. So for connecting SAP, Oracle, or any kind of software, so you need to take the IT help. And you can see the third data is also here. If I'm going to click on this model view or the relationship view, you will see some kind of relationship is already there. So I have loaded my three data, 1, 2, 3, and dynamic relationship has already been built. And you will see here is the 1-to-1 relationship. 1-to-1 means because risk matrix has a unique client name and full client master base data has unique client names. So that's how it is showing 1-to-1 relationship. Whenever we are dealing with other kind of relationship like one-to-many, so my transaction file has many transactions related to one client. So that's how we are saying it as one-to-many relationship. So we are seeing this star. So it is saying it as many, and one is one. Now my data is connected with this data to this data, and this risk matrix is connected with this data, and full client database is connected with this data. Soon I will explain what is the meaning of these kind of arrows also. So let's just go to on the DAX view and table view, and you will see here I can manipulate or transform any kind of data in the DAX view. And if I'm going to see the report view over here, here you can find out any a kind of visualization. Let's say I'm going to find out the total and turnover of my clients uh, raised by me. So you will see here we have invoice amount. So I can simply going to insert this single card. Now what single card does, single card shows only the single card. Like, let me just show you over here. So if I'm talking about this one, this dashboard, so you will see this option is only a single card. So what is the dashboard? Dashboard is nothing, just a combination of various visualization tools like a histogram chart, this is a line chart, this is a KPI indicator, this is a slicer. So we are going to make this single card. So here we have single card, and let's say I'm going to add invoice amount in this invoice amount, and you will see my invoice amount is 52.41 million. So this is the invoice amount, and you can see the Excel file also. So let me just total the invoice amount. And you can see 52 million is also appearing here. So that's how it has taken the reference of Excel file directly. And you will see it has not changed my Excel file. My raw data is still in the raw shape, which was already there. Now just close this, and again I'm going to click on this Power BI. Now let's start with the DAX view. So here we have DAX view. Now let me just open my Excel file, blank Excel file. Let me just copy this file and paste it over here. So we can simply correlate that DEX view is nothing, just a copy and paste of your Excel file. So let's just open this. I'm not dealing with this file because this file is open in your Power BI. So I'm going to work on this file and my Power BI file so that I can explain this is a copy and paste thing only. Now let's say here we have rate per hour, and here we have invoice amount. Now let's say you want to find out the taxable amount, right? So taxable amount, how we can find out? Invoice amount minus the GST amount, or we can simply write this. This is, I think, actually a mistake, because billed hour multiplied by rate hour is the taxable amount, not the invoice amount. So we need to correct this here. So I'm double clicking on it, and we can say it as taxable amount. So this is my taxable amount. And here we have GST rates. Now I want to find out my invoice amount. And you can see invoice amount is not here. So how we can find out? And simply taxable amount plus GST amount, right? How we can find out in Power BI, and how we can do that? Here you can see, here we have new column. So new column is going to add automatically when I'm clicking on this new column. Now it is showing column space equal to. What does it mean? Now it is meaning as column means column name. Let's say I'm saying it as invoice value, right? Now invoice value is what? Taxable amount plus the GST amount. So in Excel, what is the difference over here? In Excel, we refer the cell references, and here we are simply referring the column name. And you can see taxable amount is here. So taxable amount plus my GST amount, right? GST amount. And you can see GST amount is here. Let's see GST amount and enter. That's it. This is the DEX view. Now I will tell you most of the function which are is already available in Excel is same as with your DEX. So it is showing working on it, because what Excel do, let's say if I'm talking about this Excel file. So let's say if I'm changing this to taxable amount. So what we are doing in our Excel file, so simply clicking on this taxable plus GST, right? So now it is we are dealing with single one cell. If I'm going to drag and drop, so it is going to deal with the other cells. But here in the Power BI, we don't need to refer single cell. We need to simply refer the column name, and it is going to automatically find out all the value in the respective rows. This is the only difference. Now let me just talk about second function. Let's say here I have name, okay, and I want to find out only the first three characters of my name. Let's say if I'm talking about this uh, uh, McDaniel or this Montoya. So what is the first three character in this client name? MCD, MON. So how we are going to deal with this? The same thing in my Excel file. So you can see I can simply use the left function. Left here we have left client name is this, comma and the three characters, right? and that's how we can find out the left three characters. And the same thing is happening with your DAX. So let's say if I'm talking about first three characters, so I'm going to add the first three characters, and here I'm going to add new column. My Power BI is slow responding because of my maybe said internet. Yes. Now I need to find out first three character, or I can say it as name code. Name code. Now what I have used in Excel file, left function, and you can see again we have left function over here. So I am simply saying this table view is nothing, just your Excel file. So whatever the function you are using in your Excel file, it is already available in this Power BI. Just open the parentheses, and you can see argument is also same. Here we have used what? Here we have used text and the number of characters, and you can see the Power BI. Here we have text and the number of characters. So text is what? Text is my name, client name, and number of character is three. The same thing, but instead of this cell reference, I am taking the column reference. Just close the parentheses and enter, and you can see name code is also available. Now, you can ask a question like this, sir, you have added a column. Now you have find out the extraction part. You can use mid function, you can use right function. Let me just show you the that file. So if I'm talking about this one, so you will see in Power BI, some of the function are still common with your Excel file. So what they are, some function is still there, average is there, min is there, max is there, count is there, and so on. And here we have text concatenate is there, we are using in Excel. If function is there, or is there, not is there, ABS is there. So many function are common in Power BI and the Excel file. Now let's understand one more part of the Power BI, which is a measure. Now, what is measure? Let's say if I'm talking about the sum. Now I want to find out the sum of the GST amount. Let's say I want to find out the sum of the GST amount. In Excel, what we do, we simply use sum function and refer this column and press enter. Now here is the sum of this GST amount, right? Now sum function is going to provide me single value, one single value. Till now, what we have dealt with, here I am finding out the total of in taxable plus GST row wise. Here I am extracting the data row wise, but this time I am not dealing row wise. I am simply find out the summation of all the rows together. So how we can find out? So for that case, new column will not work because new column it works row by row, row by row, row by row. So this is the difference between measure and the column. So in that case, what I will do, I will simply add new measure. So now you need to be very careful. Means whenever the answer would be one, then go for the measure. If the answer you want row by row, let's say sum for count, if you want a criteria base, so in that case you will simply go to add new column. Otherwise, we can simply use measure. Now here I am saying it as, let's say, total of GST amount, total of GST amount, right? Now how I'm going to find out the total of GST amount, sum and GST amount. So here is the GST amount. Now how you can write this? Just click write the GST amount and press tab key. It will simply write full thing and close the parentheses and enter. And you will see my GST amount is not seeming here, right? Now, how it is not seeming here and how we can see this? and you will see the right side of my pane. And here we have in new column which is name code. This is a new column. This is the invoice value column. So whenever we are adding new thing, so it Power BI add this boxes in your data with your raw data. If you open your raw data, these two column would not be there. But here we have two column extra. Whenever the transaction would automatically expand, so this two column would automatically expand to those new transactions. Now let's say if I'm talking about this GST total, and you can see the calculator option is there. It means it is showing that it is a measure, not a column, not a sigma. It is a measure. Now, how we can see the answer of this sigma? Or for measure, we can see the answer only on the visualization tool or on the report view. How we can find out? Let's say if I'm going to add a single card once again, and you can see single card is there. Now, and how you can check what to add this single card. You will see whenever I'm adding anything, let's say I'm adding this matrix. So a matrix is nothing, just a pivot table view. And you will see whenever I'm adding a visualization, any visualization, it is giving me screen tips over here, rows, columns, and values. The same thing is already available in the pivot table. Just close this. I'm going to add a single card. So in single card, we need to add only the data over here. So let's say I'm going to add the GST, and you can see the GST is 5.88 million. So that's how this single card or this measure is going to work out. Now, the beauty is, let's say you don't want to add extra columns, you don't want to add you don't want to take the reference of these kind of things, so you can simply take the reference of measure. So let's say if you want to find out the total of invoice amount, so what you will do, you will simply multiply these two things and add the add invoice value, and you don't need to add these two column. Simply you can take the help of this measure. Now the one more beauty of this measure is, let's say if I'm adding this pivot table matrix, why I'm showing this as a matrix, why I'm calling this matrix as pivot table, because you can see row, column, and values. And for filter, we have here filter. So we can filter the data from here, and rows, column, and values. So it is as same as your pivot table. Now let's say if I'm going to add this GST amount in the values, just click here, and you will see my GST amount is here. Now, if I'm going to add, let's say, a reason. So reason on the row, it is automatically bifurcating that measure, which is showing the one value, into four components. Now if I'm going to add the client, so now it is going to expand, now it is going to expand my measure automatically to the 90 transactions. Now one more beauty with this visualization is, let's say here is the single card and here is the GST amount. If I'm going to click on this, let's say this petty PLC, so it is automatically changing my single card. So it means whenever I'm going to add any chart, let's say I'm going to add line chart also. So here we have total of taxable amount. This is the total of GST amount. Now I'm going to add a line chart. So line chart, here we have line chart. Now I'm going to add reason in the x-axis. Okay. And here I'm going to add the GST amount, or line chart or the invoice. Here we have added taxable amount. Here we have GST amount. Let's say invoice value I'm going to take the reference of. And you can see this is the data. Invoice value means here. Whenever I'm talking about Peter PLC, so in Peter PLC, North region billing is high, East region billing is low. When I'm clicking on this King PLC, and you can see my line chart is automatically changing. Now means I am dealing with this King PLC only in single region, which is the North region. Let's say if I'm talking about this one more Porter INC, and you can see I am dealing with this Potter PLC in three of the region: East, West, and South. East is the bigger one. It is automatically sorting my region. It is automatically simply converting my line chart into uh, fashionable. And you can see my single card is also updating. So whenever you are adding anything over here, anything, so it is simply converting those things into a uh, it is automatically changing those things over here directly. So that's how you can take the reference of this line chart, matrix, and the uh, single card. And let's talk about this data view or DAX view once again. Now, in Power BI, here we have lots of functions which are not readily available with the your Excel file. Let's say if I want to find out the start of the month, okay, or start of the year. So let's say going to talk about this the same thing in Excel first. So here I'm going to find out, let's say, start of the month or start of the years here, and you can see. So if I'm going to talk about start of the month, so you can see here we don't have any function which is the start of the month, and here we have one function which is a EOD month, EO month, which is going to tell me the end of the month, right? So let's say if I'm going to find out the start of the month of this date, means how let's say if I want to make a pivot table month wise or year wise, so I need to find out the start of the month, I need to find out the end of the month of every transaction. So in that case we need to take the reference of this in EO month or the start of the month. So in Excel we don't have any function start of the month. Here we have EO month, which is the meaning of the function is end of the month. Now you can see Excel is a little bit complicated over here. Start date is this and month is zero. If I'm going to type this zero, so it is going to take me the last of the month. Let me just convert this into short date. And you can see the last date of this month is 30th September. I can simply enter -1, and it is going to take you to the previous month, last day of the previous month. And you can see it is the last date of the previous month. If I'm going to add one, and it is now showing me the first day of that month. If I'm going to simply drag and drop, now you can see this is the first day of that month. This is the first day of that month. This is the first day of that month. How much typical is this? We can take the reference of AI also to find out this start of the month. But in Power BI, some function are already inbuilt, which are not readily available in your Excel file. And you will see, let's say if I'm this time in this case, if I'm going to find out the start of the year, in that case I don't know the function, and I need to take the reference of AI, or maybe I need to take the reference of multiple function together to find out the start of the year. In that, what I will do, I will simply extract this year and I will make the date. But here in the Power BI we have a readily available function. We can add the column like new column. So it is adding my new column. I don't know why it is hanging so much. So let me just tell you, here we have lots of function. You can see these are the function which are readily available with the Power BI. I'm going to explain the function here also. So it is still working. Let me just close other tabs. It is, if it is open, nothing is open actually. It's taking so much of time. So, Meanwhile, let me just take you to the other concept of this Power BI. So here, whenever I'm dealing with the relationship, which I've already spoken, relationship is one to many, many to one to one, and many to many. So if I'm talking about this relationship, let me just refresh this. So whenever, let's say, you have master data and you have transaction data. So transaction data may be possible that you have multiple transactions from single client. So you can call it as one to many. So many to one is a vice versa of this one to many. One to one means whenever we are connecting one master data, like in my case, my risk matrix is my master data, and my client master data is master data. So that's why I'm dealing with this one to one. But you can't connect data which is many to many. Means, let's say, first is a sales transaction file, and second is a credit note. So you can't link both the files together until and unless you have a one master file. So that's how you can connect the data. And whenever dealing with the unique records, so we are calling it as primary key. And whenever we are not dealing with the unique records, means, let's say, multiple GST numbers and multiple dates, so we are calling it as foreign key. Still, it is not working. Okay. So let me just uh, explain this relationship one more step. Let's say here we have single master data, like in your SAP. Here we have sale register, here we have credit note register, here we have discount register, here we have rebate register or freight register, anything. Means whenever we are connecting with the master data with the transaction file simultaneously, we generally call it as star schema, and we generally put our data like this because it can relate to multiple data. Let's say if I'm going to make a relationship, if let's say if you are taking the reference of auto relationship, which I my Excel which my Power Query was doing, and surprisingly now it is working. Now let me just explain this relationship. So what I'm trying to say is, so whenever you are dealing with one master data and multiple transaction data. So you can't link this transaction data with the transaction data. You can't link the transaction data with the transaction data. You can only link the master data with the transaction data. So that's how relationship you can make. And here we have one more linkage, which is a snow flake schema. Means here we have one master data, and here we have second master data. Let's say in this, let's say this is a product code, this is a sub product code, this is a pricing sheet, and this is a transaction sheet. So maybe it might be possible that you have multiple transaction data. Let's say if you have product, let's say product wise data, and in other file you have sub product wise data. Let's say here we have Apple laptop, and in the second file here we have colors of that laptop. So you can connect that file like this. So this is the relationship which I'm trying to explain over here. Now you can see here we have relationship. So this is, if I'm talking about this one, this is one to one, and this is a one to many. Now I'm going to add that column, which I'm going to add here, which is the start of the year, which is readily available in this Power BI. So I'm going to simply click on this home tab and new column. And now you can see I can rename my column, let's say start of the year. Put this space, you can ignore the space, and I'm putting the space over here to take the reference of that column. So here we have start of the year directly, which is not available in your Excel file. Now here it is available, start of the year. Now let's understand this. What is the start of the year? Now let's find out the start of the year of this invoice date. So invoice date we are going to referring, and since we are referring the date, so I can simply click on this date and just close the parentheses, and it is going to find out this start of the month, start of the year of the single every single date. Now you can see 1st September 2024 means start of the year is what is 1st January 2024. Now extraction is quite simple for me. Let's say I want to extract 2024 only, I want to extract 2025. Let's say I want to make a matrix this based on this start of the year. So I'm going to add a matrix. Sorry, I'm going to add a matrix over here, and I'm this time I'm not referring the invoice date. I'm simply referring the start of the year. So you can search the column from here also. Start, add, has it not been added? It has not been added. Start of the year. I need to recalculate this. Start of the year, invoice date, comma, sorry, date. Now you can see start of the year is here. Now I can simply take the reference of the single column start of the year, and you can see here we have start, quarter. So every single quarter is only have one dates. Every month has only one dates. This is some mistake. 1/1/24. It is correct. Let me just shrink this. Start of the year here. Now, not year, not quarters, not month. Now you can see this is the start of the year. Actually, we are simply extracting the day. So that is the not that solve not that is not going to solve any purpose. So why the Power BI is creating a problem here? See, a Power BI has time intelligence, and you will see in the file tab here we have option and settings, and in the options here we have global, and here we have current file. So by default, there are some settings which Power BI allows you to deal with. So Power BI, whenever you are opening a Power BI file or whenever you are dealing with the new file, so Power BI auto make a relationship, and it is a when you want to disable the settings from whole Power BI in your system, so you can take the reference of this global, and whenever you are going to take the reference of current file, so you can simply choose this current file, and you can see here we have data load, and here we have auto detect relationship, which you can disable it from here, and you can see here we have time intelligence. You can disable that thing here also. So I'm going to disable that because it is a building hierarchy for me, dates, quarter, month. So I don't need this. I need to disable this. Okay. Now I can add the matrix and start of the month. Still problem is there. Let me just fix this. Start of the year, dates, and just click on this dates. this function is not working correctly actually. Let me just show you why I'm saying this. I have tried this function a lot in my past, and you can see now it is not working. 11 September start of the month is actually 1st September. So here it is actually failing. Even it is not showing the dates which is which it was showing earlier. So let's fix this later on. So the purpose is to explain the start of the year is not to actually find out the start of the year. So just to tell you, there are some inbuilt function which are readily available in your Power BI, which are not readily available in your Excel file. So for that, we don't need to do manual exercise and so on. Instead, we can simply take the reference of this year column here, and we can take the reference of invoice date, and I'm going to make the matrix of this year column. Let's just write this year, and you can now you can see here we have year numbers only, and now you can see year 2023, 24, 25, and we can add GST amount in values, and now you can see this is a summarized form of our data, which is not directly available in your raw file. So that's how you can take the reference of this DAX expression directly, or even without referring the Excel file. What is happening with our raw file? So if I'm going to open my raw file, now you can see my original data is still there, and you can see there are no two columns which I have added, or there is no year column. So it means my system is not going to uh, change. Even let's say if I'm connecting my SAP file with my Power BI, only the Power BI file is going to change, not the SAP. So that is the another beauty of this Power BI task. So close this. Now, one more thing which I'm going to explain this over here is, let's say here I have client name. Now what I want to find out what I want to find out, let's say head office location in this data. How we can find out? In Excel file, let's say here we have employee name, and we want to find out the location of my client, where my client is actually uh, having an office. So for that, we use VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, or whatever the case may be. But in that, those things VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP is not here. You can see if I'm going to add a new column. So if I'm going to use the VLOOKUP is not here. So now, the problem is whenever VLOOKUP is not here, XLOOKUP is not here. So how we can find out how we can connect the data accurately? Let's say now what is the need of the VLOOKUP, or what is the need of the XLOOKUP when we have relationship? So let's say here we have let's say in this data actually we don't have any discount column. Let's say we have a extra data which is a discount rate over there, let's say a product name and discount rate. So we want to find out the discount amount directly. So from that file we will do what? We will simply find out the discount percentage and multiply discount rate here. So but how we can how we can find out the discount percentage from there to here? This is the ultimate challenge when we have when we don't have any VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, or an index match in our Power BI. Then how we can use this as a Excel file? For that, here we have three most important function in Power BI. You can see here we have very much very most important in the very most important function in the DAX, which is a related. So related has eliminate all of the lookup function. So relative is a substitute of your VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, whatever. So here I'm going to find out the related. Let's say I want to find out the location. So I'm simply saying it as location equals. So location is my related. Now, related function will work only and only when the relationship is established. So in the relationship view, let me just browse this. You can see the relationship view. Here, the relationship is already there. You can see risk matrix is there and full client data set is linked with the transaction data. So that's how we can find out the what we can find out the location based on related. But if the this link or this relationship would not be there, then this whole thing, this relationship view will not work or relative function will not work. So here I'm going to find out this related function. I'm going to add a new column. So let's say I'm going to find out the location. So here I'm going to find out the relate. I'm going to use the related, and you can see it is the alternate of a VLOOKUP. Now the argument is a single one, which is the column name. So column name, what we want to find out? So head office location we want to find out. Simply just click on that column and press tab key. So it is going to write the full name. Just close the parentheses and enter. And you can see in my transaction data, location is there. And what happened with the other data? If you will see the full client master database, and you can see location is also there and location is here. So if I'm going to search the location, so location is now appearing on both of the Excel sheet, location and head office location. Surprisingly, the location, this location column is not available in your raw file. All the things are available in this Power BI only. So we can save this Power BI project and work later on as a draft project. So close this. So this is the related function, which is a directly linked with the VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP. Now, two more function, which is very, very important in this Power BI or DAX view. First is your calculated function. Now, let's say my I have a company and my company has four regions, and I always compare my north region with my whole company because north region is a profitable region, or other region are still profitable but not so much. So in that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a dashboard of what, let's say here is the taxable amount of what of whole company, right? Now I want to compare my north region with the whole company. So if I'm going to click anywhere, let's say on the Clark Miller, and you can see region is not there. So it is not going to work with the north. And if I'm going to add the north here, so location. So let's say if I'm going to add the taxable amount once again, so taxable amount, I'm going to add a single card, and I'm going to add taxable amount once again. Here it is. Now, what I want this taxable amount for the whole company, this taxable amount for the north region, because these two regions are comparable, and my north region is very much profitable. So that's why I am comparing the company with the north region. So now, if I'm going to add this, add a new matrix, let's say region wise sales, or instead of this matrix, what we can do, we can simply add the slicer. So here we have slicer. So I can add region over here, region. It is showing each region because we have selected this Clark Mall. So if I'm going to click on this Clark Mall once again, it is going to remove the filter. Now you can see here we have four region: east, north, south, and west. Now whenever we are adding visual one by one, even without formatting, it is taking a shape of my dashboard like this. You can see this is a dashboard, this is single card, and this is slicer in the square shape, and this is a slicer in a circle shape. So if I'm going to align everything, let's say here I'm going to align this here and this thing here and this thing here. Now we can export the this view as a dashboard, this view as a PDF with anyone. And the main thing is I am using free version of Power BI. So it means you can take if you want to learn the Power BI, you can if you want to make a dashboard in your office, so you can use the free version also. But you can't share the Excel file whenever you're using free version. Let's say you have created a dashboard and you want to download the Excel file, so you can't download it with anyone. You can't download it from that link because you don't have any paid version. So this is the main difference. Now here we have total taxable amount of the whole company. Here we have North region, but we have not used any filter here. But if you will see, if I'm going to click on this note, both things are amending. But what I want to compare company with the North region. This is the main problem. It means I am bounding my visual to a criteria based visual. Means my whenever I will click on any of the region, let's say east, let's say if I'm talking about the copper carry, so I will compare the copper carry of whole copper carry revenue of the whole company with the north region only. So if I'm clicking on this east, so it will show you the east region and the north region here. So it means this filter, this taxable amount will not going to change whenever I'm going to click on this region part. So how we can do it? For that, for those kind of things, we have function called as calculate. So that's how you can use the calculate function. To calculate allow you to filter, to bias anything based on that criteria. And you can see here I'm going to add a new measure and new measure. So I will say it as total north sales only. So here I'm going to find out the calculate. Now here we have expression and filter. Whenever we are seeing this expression word, expression means a measure itself or a formula which we have used in the measure. So in measure, what we have done, we have find out the total of taxable amount. And here we don't have any measure which is related to taxable amount. Here we have a measure related to GST amount, but we want what? We want total of taxable amount. So if we are going to create that measure, we are going to use sum and total of that taxable amount. So here I'm going to use the sum and total of taxable amount. Here we have taxable amount. So this itself a measure. Expression means a measure which you are going to build or which you have not built. You can use still that thing as a measure here. So filter is now what you want to filter. Reason we want to filter. Reason column we want to filter as what? Not reason. So whenever you are entering any text in any data, so you can simply put that thing in double quotes. Now close the parentheses and enter. And you can see here we have total node sales. Since we have clicked on this data, so my measure is added on this data. But if you want to move on this measure to here to in this table, so you can move that thing also. So just click on this. And you can see here we have home table. So we can simply move that measure from there to here. So now you can see my measure is now here, total node sales. Now if I'm going to add the measure here, instead of this total taxable amount, I am going to add total North sale in a single card. So total North sale in a single card. And you can see the both figure are matching. Now, if I'm going to take the West, this thing is updating because of this slicer, and this thing is not updating. Now, what if I'm going to click on this Eloid? So it means we have not uh, dealt with Eloid in north region, and this is the total transaction which we have dealt with alloyed in the east and south region. So again, it is extracting the report automatically. Now just remove the filter, and you can see again it is working fine. Now, and whenever I'm, let's say, now the problem is again different. Now, in previous example, what we have done, we have uh, put a criteria on what? Could put a criteria on our measure. Now, what I want, let's say, if I'm going to use a filter on east region, right? So it is going to show me the value of east region, and it is going to show me the value of north region. What if I want to see the total of all region? I don't want to put any filter. I don't want to put any criteria on my metrics, on my table, on my chart, or anything. So in that case, we have again very much important function in our DAX, which is all. This is very important function whenever we are dealing with the all function. So three function are very most important when we are dealing with the Power BI. Related is as same as your VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and XLOOKUP. Now calculate is putting criteria. Now all is removing all the criteria. So here I'm going to find out the total sales once again. So I'm going to add new measure once again on the table. I'm going to add new measure, home, new measure. So here I'm going to add total all taxable values. Okay. Means whenever anyone is going to choose the reason, it is not going to apply the filter of that reason in this. But again, if you are choosing the customer, it is going to show the taxable amount of that. So here I'm going to put the calculate, and see, we need to use all function always in the calculate, because calculate put the filter first, and all remove the filter, all remove that filter. So this is the tricky part here. So expression means sum of the taxable amount. So here it is going to put the sum, comma. Now we are going to use all, for which you want to see the column name. Let's say here I'm going to use, and you will see here we have column name, comma, dot. It means we can use multiple columns over here. So let's say I am going to use reason. So whenever anyone is going to choose the reason, it is not going to apply the filter or the slicer or the line chart, anything. Now, comma, let's say if I'm going to add a second column, let's say client name. Now I have removed two filters, close, close, and here it is. So it is saying that both things should be from the same reason. So reason is here and client name is here. Oh, we have taken the risk matrix. So that's why it is not working. We need to take the client name, this. So if you are removing any filter from any table, so you need to be sure that all table name are same. Otherwise, it is not going to work at all. Now simply come here, and this is the total all taxable amount. Again, I'm going to add a single card. Now I'm going to add total taxable amount here. This is my total taxable amount. Now you will see here is the filter of this region, north. This is filtering, perfect. This is not filtering, once again, perfect. And this is a north sale, good. So east, and the matrix is filtering out. This matrix is filtering out. So this is good. Now, one or two thing which I'm going to deal with here. is operators. So in Excel, we have some operators. Means here we have, whenever we are dealing with if function or any kind of function in Excel. So here we have, let's say if I'm going to check, let's say if this GST rate is equal to 18%, yes or no, this is equal to 18, yes or no. So it will show me false. If I'm going to drag and drop this, so it is showing me true here because this is equal to 18, right? So that's how we are going to use the operators, or if I'm going to talk about the if function if. So let's say if the rate is 18%, and let's say if I want to check whether if the rate is not 18%, or let's say if the rate is something else, let's say if the rate is 18%, then what I will do, I will simply less 2000 rupees in my GST amount. Okay. So here I'm going to check if this rate is equal to 18, then I'm going to give the 2000 discount in the GST amount, a hypothetical situation we are taking. And if the value is false, then full GST need to be paid. Close, and you can see that's how we're going to use if function. And this equal sign is showing the operators in Excel. So just simply drag and drop, and you can see here we have these values. And if I'm going to talk about this 18%, so 2000 is automatically or subtracting from this. Now the same thing is happening with the Power BI. So Power BI has the same operators with the Excel, but two or three are still different. So if I'm going to talk about equal to, strictly equal to, actually equal to and strictly equal to can be used interchangeably. And greater than less or equal to, less than equal to. If you don't know the symbol of not equal to, so not equal to is we write like this in Excel. So this is a less than, this is a greater than, less than greater than symbol. And this and concatenate, we use and symbol in our Excel. Let's say if I'm going to talk about concatenate part, so let's say if I want to concatenate these two columns, so I can here simply add these and this. So it is going to concatenate both the columns simultaneously without space, because you have not uh, given the reference of any space. So if you want to put the space in the between, so there are three characters. First is name, second is space, and third is service type. So in that case, I will simply put the double quotes in the between. And so first text is my name, second is space, and third is my service type. And and you can see here we can add, here we can concatenate two columns simultaneously. In Power BI, in DAX, we can take the reference of this AND function in the same fashion. And now this is additional part, which is AND, OR, and logical. Now, if I'm going to use AND function in my Excel file, so Excel has function which is AND. But in Power BI, we have AND function as well as this symbol part. So instead of the AND function, you can use this AND twice. And for the OR function, we have this symbol and this. For the each row logical, we have in. Now let me just explain this thing in a little bit more detail. Let's say you want to compare two columns for the if function or any criteria base. Let's say reason is France and by buyer is yes. Then you want to put a filter or you want to do the anything, then you can use the and function or double and you can use. So here we have double pipe symbol, which is a simply or. So reason is France or buyer is yes, then it is going to evaluate this. Now you can see here I have taken the reference of two columns. Reason is finance and bike buyer is yes. So two columns we are taking the reference of. Here in the OR function, we are taking again two column references. Reason is finance and bike buyer is yes. So two column referencing we are taking. Now in the third criteria, which is the OR function. Now what is the difference between these two? In this, we are not taking the reference of what? Two columns. Here I'm taking the reference of multiple rows. Let's say if product color is red, blue, and black. or black. So in this case, we are taking the reference of these three colors simultaneously, row wise, not the column wise. So that's how you can use the in function. But in Excel, we use if function if this is red or blue or black, whatever the case may be. So that's how you can use the operator. In the same fashion, you can use the in Power BI, but this is the additional one which is already ready-made available with the Power BI DAX. So this is all about our DAX function. And even if you want to find out the income tax calculation in your Power BI, so you can use the same function of the if function. Let's say if my income is greater than 10 lakh, then yes or no, you can use the if function directly. Here you can see, here we have if function. I'm going to add a new column to just demonstrate the if function over here. If here we don't have ifs function, which is now available in Office 365. So you can see the same argument we have in Power BI logical test, result of true and result of false. So if my income is, let's say, income, whatever the column is there, let's say if the invoice value is greater than, let's say here I'm going to use the if function. If the invoice value is greater than 3 lakh, then I'm going to give a discount of 10%. So here I'm writing 3 lakhs, comma, then the discount would be 10%, 0.10. I don't need to use this double quotes because I'm referring numbers, comma, and if the result is false, then I'm not going to give you any discount. So just put 0, close the parentheses and enter. The same fashion with the Excel. So DAX is nothing, just a more advanced version of your Excel file. And you can see here we have discount. So we can rename this discount. And that's how we can take the advantage of this uh, if function directly. If you have any question regarding these DEX function or any other related to Power Query, you may ask simultaneously. So we have covered this text, and here we have all function. We have already covered this. Now here in the Power BI, which I'm not going to which I'm going to just tell you the little bit. Here we have some more function, which is time intelligence function in DAX. This is little bit complicated. So let's say you are comparing, let's say you are making a dashboard of this current month and you are comparing the current month with the previous one. So in that case, you can take the reference of these time intelligence function. So here we have extra function which are not readily available in Power BI, which is that total YTD, total MTD, total QTD. So here we have lots of function available in this Power BI. And here we have iteration function, which is again available in my Excel file. So this is sum x, or we can call it as sum ifs. So here we have expression table and expressions. All means expression means measures. So any formula should be there for calculating this. So that's how we can take the reference of this iterator function. And here we have finished our text part, just a basic one we have covered with text part. And uh, you can see here I have not referred any Power Query part. So this is it, means about the text part. Now, any queries related to DEX part, because DEX part is a little bit complicated. Even it sounds a little bit complicated. DEX, data expression language, itself a complicated word whenever we are talking about this DEX. So that's how we can deal with the data visualization. And if I'm going to put the format or the color part, so it is going to give you the shape like this. So if I'm going to talk about this simple dashboard, this one, and here you can see this is just a shape in the backend. This is a text box. This is a slicer. Now, one more thing I want to explain this. Let's say I'm saving this file on the desktop. So I'm saving this on the desktop. So let's say here I am on the desktop. I am saving this as 1234 save. Okay. Now my file has been saved. Now you will see here we have file. In the free version I'm using, here we have share. So now it is saying 1234. Should must it should must give me shareable links. For sharing of that thing, I need to save that file in my OneDrive. Actually, I need to configure my OneDrive first. See what I'm trying to say is, see, whenever you have configured your OneDrive, then you can share that free file with anyone, or even whenever, let's say I'm opening my PowerPoint file, a blank PowerPoint, and you will see here we have insert, here we have Power BI also. It means now, let's say what we have done, we have shared that file with the OneDrive, and OneDrive will give you that link. And you will see in the, whenever I'm going to click on this Power BI, so now after sometimes it will ask me that the same link which I have which the OneDrive has given to me. So I can enter that link and it will automatically bring that dashboard from there to here. Now I can use the dashboard directly in PowerPoint even without taking this snapshot, which I'm trying to explain this. So means oh, this feature is not available in your Excel. So I need to share the Power BI file on the platform on the OneDrive. It will give you the link, and that link we can share with this Power BI. So it will automatically take that thing because my OneDrive is not linked here because I am using other cloud software. So that's how it is not working. But the process is still same because all are a part of Microsoft. PowerPoint is a part of Microsoft. Power BI is a utility of Microsoft, and this cloud OneDrive is also a utility of this cloud service of this Power Microsoft. So that's how you can take the reference of this cloud service. And this is about the DAX. Any question related to DAX, maybe ask here. Mananji, we can go for question banks.
Yes, so we're just checking if there are any questions. Um, just a second. Let me go through the chat. I don't think there are any questions, sir. I can't see any in the chat. Please do, Manish. All right. So the first question we've received is to get more of an explanation on YOI and MOM change calculation.
See, first question is why month on month or year to year, basically,
Yes.
it is saying. So to understand this, we need to understand one visual, which is a KPI indicator. So
Hmm.
let me just explain this over here. So if you will see this visualization, here it is. We have KPI indicators. So if I'm going to add this here, and you will see, uh, see for this we need a value and we have the target. It means when we are comparing the current month value with the previous month value. So it means, let's say I till April month I have made a GST sale of 10 lakh, and in
Hmm.
May month I have made a GST sale of 2 lakh. So in May month the total YTD or month sale would be 2 lakh, and
Hmm.
for the April value would be 10 lakh. So for understanding this uh, month on month or Y to Y, you can take the time intelligence function references, and
Okay.
you can take the reference of this KPI indicator. That would be sufficient for you.
All right. All right. So if possible, maybe we can go through one small example that will be really helpful.
Actually, sir, KPI indicator itself take a half an hour to explain.
Okay. I understand. All right. So the second question that we have is it possible to refer to data from multiple Excel sheets in a single Excel file? Sorry, I think
So,
it has been framed slightly wrongly. Is it possible to refer to the data in multiple sheets in a single Excel file? All right. So if in one Excel workbook, we have multiple sheets.
see, I have already explained that also. Let me just show that one thing once again. Let's say if I'm going to talk about this copy file, I'm going to
Mhm.
open this here,
Yeah.
and you can see here both sheet are referring. So
Mm.
in single workbook, we have two sheets. So let's say you want to load both the sheet. You
All
can
right.
load both the sheet one by one. So you can simply click on this one or two, or you can load both the sheets together. But and if, let's say if I'm going to load this, and you can see you can take the reference of all the sheets in the workbook. What you need to do, you need to simply check that box.
All
It
right.
will automatically load all the sheets,
All
and you
right.
will
And you
see.
can use them together.
Yes, here we have sheet one, and here we
Mm.
have uh, second workbook, which is in the same file, but both sheet will appear here different in the different workbook.
All right. All right. Understood. So that I think that clears that. So a couple of questions that people also have are quite similar, in wherein they want to know more about what kind of learning materials or books can one go through if they want to explore more about Power BI and DAX on
So
their own.
if you will simply go on the let's say AI tool or any Google, it will simply take you to the Microsoft site directly.
All
If
right.
you will see the Microsoft site, there are already free courses available related to DAX, but those are basic one. If you have
Okay.
covered the basic one, then you can go with the advanced one, or by using AI. Let's say you are checking anywhere, or you can
Mm.
simply take the reference of AI where I am feeling the issues.
All right. All right. So basically go through the Microsoft website and on a case
Yes.
to case basis, Google Google whatever problem you're facing, because I mean someone else must have faced it earlier as well,
Yes, yes.
or
So
use AI to
see,
help you out.
on Microsoft side, you will simply get the basic one, and for the advanced one, you need to learn by yourself because there is no source for the advanced one. For advanced one, you need to take the help of self-paced learning.
All right. So basically start working on it and learn as you go. Whatever queries you
Yes,
have, try resolving them yourself online.
yes, yes.
You have plenty of resources available.
Even we have even I do the same thing. I take the reference of Chat GPT, Perplexity. So I generally ask what is the wrong in it and how we can fix it. It says you
Which is fair, sir. I mean, whatever learning we do by doing our own work, I think that tends to stay with us for longer.
understood.
Sir, one question that we received is, can you help us go through a speedometer graphic with any available test data?
Sir, I can simply I can't show the demonstration over here, but I can simply give you the idea how you can make the speedometer chart.
That will be helpful. That will be helpful.
See, speedometer chart is basically what is that thing. Even one YouTube video is there for the speedometer chart, but that person has made the speedometer chart on the Excel file. The
Okay.
same concept we are going to use here. So what it has done is here it is going to use the donut chart. If I'm going to
All right.
use the page two, here it is going to use the donut chart. So
Okay.
what donut chart is, it is even going to use the donut chart over the donut chart, and it is going to hide half of the part. Means let's say you have a data 100%. So you need to duplicate that data and make it to 200%. Let's say you have five transactions, and just copy the five transaction below to that five transaction. It means become the 200%. Now hide the half of the donut part, or let's say make the color as no fill. So it will simply take the speedometer shape, and that's how you can take the reference of that speedometer in your dashboard part.
All
So
right.
one YouTube video is already there in the Excel file, and the same referencing of that YouTube video you can take here as a means speedometer chart.
So basically, whatever your data set is, whatever value that comes out to be in total, an amount
Yes,
equal to that, you add another value,
yes,
which you give a reference such as NA or none or something.
yes,
And once you are making the donut chart, you place it in a certain way that it comes out on the bottom, and you select the color so that it's not visible.
yes. So
All
it
right.
will automatically become a half circle.
Okay.
And if I'm going to use the other donut chart in the middle, and again for visible data, I will simply color that thing, and for rest of the data, I will hide that data as a no fill. So it will look like this. Let me just
Understood.
if I can draw this, so it will look like
Yep.
this, and other donut chart will look like this.
Hmm.
So it will become a speedometer chart automatically.
Okay. Understood. So, any YouTube channel that you recommend which can help people explore Power BI more? One that is
Sir,
maybe suited to our needs, because a lot of them are very general.
sir, actually, on YouTube, I have means uh, I have not seen any kind of YouTube channel, but on the Udemy you can find out the good content on Power BI. But
All right.
as a CA, because I am CA, and I have seen that lots of people are facing difficulties in Power BI. So what I have done, I have created my 21 videos on YouTube in Hindi itself to
Okay.
explain each and everything of Power BI.
Oh,
So you
wow.
at the end of that, at the end of the 21 videos, you are able to means create your own dashboard using Power BI.
Okay. Maybe we can give a reference to that also with our
So
tech team.
you can search my name in the YouTube.
Also, so one more question that I had personally, it's not from the uh, guest that we have here, is how is it that we can integrate? So, over the past 2 or 3 decades, I think Indian CAs have really ensured that Microsoft Excel has become a part and parcel of business language and business operations for each organization, whether it is a small organization or a really large organization. That work has mainly been led by Indian chartered accountants in India.
Yes.
How do you think us as chartered accountants, us as practicing chartered accountants, can ensure that our clients, that firstly us and our clients can benefit from learning more about Power BI? What are some of the applications that you see in real world for practicing chartered accountants?
Sir, you believe we make MIS on monthly basis, means for yourself or for our client basis, right? So what we are generally doing, we are extracting our sale register, we are extracting their master data, we are extracting P&L and balance sheet.
Hmm.
So we can simply integrate that SAP thing or Oracle or any kind of software with
Hmm.
this Power BI, and we are simply going to make a a little dashboard in shape of that MIS.
Hmm.
Or you can simply say, let's say if I'm talking about here, so you can simply say that your north region is very much profitable, because
Hmm.
now you can see the profit here. In that case, we are actually comparing the segment wise. Here you will see the west region is little bit down. Here you can see the whole company is as a aggregate is working fine. So that's how you can present your MIS in a good shape. And for next time, what you need to do, you need to simply refresh that thing.
All right.
You don't need to create whole dashboard once again. Just refresh thing, and dashboard will automatically become ready. Now you can charge the money from your client on monthly basis.
I agree, sir. I think in a way, as our clients, as our CFOs are also getting younger and are getting more ahead with the times, I think sooner or later those paper-based reports are going to go away. And this way of presenting the data, this way of updating the data can help us improve our presentation, which chartered accountants obviously need to do, and also help our clients in getting more up to date with better practices, better softwares. So I think it is
Yes.
something that every CA, practicing CA
Even
must try and understand.
most of the big companies are referencing these kind of visualization tool in their annual reports now.
Hmm. That is true, sir. That
So
is true.
these kind of software even can create 6 dimension charts. So
Okay.
if you will see the scatter plot, it can deal with the 6 dimension chart.
All right. So it's a lot more complex than it's a visualization tool of Excel. I mean, Excel is no longer enough. You need to learn this because
Yes,
you need to know how to present your data.
yes. See, in Excel visualization very very difficult, but in
Hmm.
Power BI or in Tableau, the visualization is very very simple. Just
Hmm.
what we need to do, we need to learn the Excel part itself, and we are very much comfortable with the Excel.
And I think also, sir, for chartered accountants who are in the service industry who are not practicing, for new emerging industries such as management consulting, etc., these softwares are even more relevant because
Yes,
their job has to, apart from analysis, their job has a lot to do with presenting data, presenting insights.
yes, sir.
So I think from
Agreed.
what we're doing here for students as well as for members, this software will be quite helpful.
Well, sure, sir. Even if you will believe, I am using free software till now.
Sorry, sir.
I am using free software. I have
Oh.
not taken any paid services. So free software is working fine with me. And so I
Hmm.
can, if you want to enhance your knowledge, or if you want to charge the money on the real time, then you can go for the paid one.
All right. So since we seeing that we have no more questions, I would like to conclude the session with a vote of thanks. So it's been an honor to be a part of this wonderful webcast on
Thank you,
data
sir.
crunching secrets with DAX and Power BI, organized by the Professional Skills Enrichment Committee (ICI). On behalf of the PACC, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to CA Vikal Jain ji for this enlightening session on this topic, which is becoming extremely and increasingly relevant for not only practicing CAs but also for CAs in employment and for businesses in general. I would like to thank the organization team of PACC ICAI as well as Vikal Jain ji for making this webcast successful. I would also like to thank each and every viewer for being here and for making this webcast really informative, successful, and for participating with your questions. I would like to thank all of you once again. Thank you.
Thanks, Manan.
Thank
मुझे
you. Thank
thank
you.
बोलने के लिए. Yes, sir.